Kudus is refusing to come to training, allegedly. Well, that's what the sources at Ajax are saying. Number 2, Chelsea are about to sign an under-21 phenomenon. When I tell you he's scoring goals in Liga for fun, and I've never heard of him, and I really should have. I'm disappointed in myself. And finally, Chelsea draw 1-1 with Newcastle. And when I tell you the performance was better than the result, I think I'm not exaggerating. Let's get into it. The good, the bad, and the downright ugly. We'll break it down over here. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Kavkas View, brother. In today's video, we are going to be breaking down the game from last night, where Nicholas Jackson once again highlighted that he could be the missing piece that Chelsea have been looking for in that position. And it's not always spend £100 million to fix your issue. Sometimes it can be the 30 million. But before we get into that, I think it's very important that we first start talking about the Kudus situation, because that's the big one. I really do believe at £40 million, this is a signing Chelsea should be doing. And Kudus, unlike Moses Caicedo, has taken matters into his own hands. But before we get to that story, I need you lot to hit the like button. The like button really encourages growth on the channel. It helps the algorithm push my channel even more, and more importantly, it's a way of you guys helping me out a little bit. I appreciate that. If you're new, subscribe. Listen, we're on the road to 30k. So all I need from this video, I want to get around about 150 new subscribers. So if you subscribed and you're new, let me know in the comment below. And if you're already subscribed, let me know in the comments below. Now let's move on with the story. Fabrizio Romano and journalists in Holland are now reporting that Kudus has not been in training for 3 days. Kudus has had initial discussions with Chelsea 3 days ago, and since then he's got a mysterious injury. The Ajax sources are worried. They think it's linked with the Chelsea move. Fabrizio said that, look, at the end of the day, what do we know? We know the fact that he spoke to Chelsea 3 days ago, and now he ain't been in training for 3 days. We also know that Arsenal are sniffing around a player, but the only way Arsenal will be able to get this deal done is if Thomas Partey leaves and they generate enough revenue to go in after him. And Brighton are also interested. But Brighton need to sell to buy. They need to sell Moises Caicedo to get this deal done. And this is where now this becomes a little bit of a conundrum. If I'm Chelsea, I dump that £100 million on Caicedo, get him and get Kudus, and tell Brighton to go do themselves. Because the reality is, Brighton are getting a bit too big for their boots. I'm sick and tired of Brighton thinking they're a big club, because you're not. Premier League TV deal has given fan bases a new generation of life. Like, it literally has regenerated all of them. West Ham fans think they're sick. Aston Villa fans think it's the 1950s again when they're talking like they've got all this smoke. You got Newcastle fans with the Saudi money all of a sudden telling us that we're a small club and they're in the Champions League to know our place. And Brighton, well, Brighton think they own us off the pitch. Like, it's ridiculous at this moment in time. Kudus to Chelsea is a reality. Chelsea are, like I said, in advanced talks, and they've already agreed personal terms with the player. It's a matter of now deciding whether they want Elise, Shirky, or Kudus, and then going to bid the money for the individual. For me, the more I sit back, the more I think about it, the more I ponder on the options, I think we need to be going with Kudus. And the reason I say we need to be going with the Kudus is because he can play the number 10 role. He can play the right wing role. He can come in and all of a sudden link the midfield with the attack. He can hold width. He can also, and this is the beauty of him, play false 9 in an emergency. But the best that I've ever seen him play is in the number 10. And I'll be honest, I think he's better than Nkunku in that role. And what I've seen from Nkunku in that role so far, I'm not very impressed. I'm really not. Nkunku, look, he needs time to settle into this new team. It's a new team, it's a new environment. But we'll get onto that a bit later on. But this is the latest news on Kudus. Chelsea have been putting in a lot of work. And when I tell you they've been putting in a lot of work, I mean they've been trying to acquire talented players for their future. And more importantly, to send them to Strasbourg to give them a development plan, to ensure they nurture themselves, and then eventually come back to Chelsea. One of these players that Chelsea have been trying to secure is called Wahi. I think that's how you pronounce it. W-A-H-I. No idea how you pronounce it. I want to apologize to you in advance, Giza. But Wahi, how I'm going to be calling you, has been very good. He's 21 years old. He's got 10 goals in 33 Ligue 1 games last year when he was 20. At the age of 21, he got 19 in 33. This is very good. He's a Montpellier under 21 France international. Very talented player, scores goals for fun, versatile, and more importantly, fits the profile that the club have been looking for. Look, we know what the club wants to do. L'Équipe now is reporting that the player is keen to join Chelsea. He's basically had enough of the deal dragging on. He's forcing the move through. He wants this to happen as quickly as possible. Montpellier wants somewhere close to £35 million. Chelsea have a 27.7 million pound bid rejected as of this moment. This is being reported in L'Equipe, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. A lot of people are saying Broja should be the one to go on loan, and this kid should be staying in the Premier League and being a backup to Mr. Jackson. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him. This is another signing where he is like Jackson. I could be pleasantly surprised, or I could just say, what the hell have we done? And at this moment in time, I'm very pleasantly surprised with Jackson. So I really hope that the scouting team continue their really good performances with Carney Chukwuemeka, whether it's Andre Santos, whether it's Nicholas Jackson. It's scouting the right profile of players that come in and you go, you know what, I really like this guy. Malo Gusto, Angelo. Like, it's very interesting and very fun to see. In regards to the performances yesterday, well, number one, Chelsea drew the game 1-1, so that was a little bit disappointing. However, it really took a shape of a classic preseason game where both teams came out the blocks, firing, good intensity, but then in the second half, once the changes happened, the quality and the intensity really decreased, and it was a hard watch. That's the easiest way. But we're going to get into the good. Number one, the goal from Nicholas Jackson and the all-round performance. The performance of carrying people down, being an absolute nuisance, and just putting his body around. His ability to link up play and the finish for his goal was phenomenal. The ball literally... Great pass from Bashir Humphreys to Enzo. Enzo links up with Cassidy straight to Maatsen. Maatsen, one touch, bang, in behind. The pace, the burst of pace from Jackson was beautiful to see. Took that finish with it like a seasoned veteran. Not like an individual that is looking for confidence. He took it like an individual that demands respect. Like, I'm here. Great finish. Chelsea were 1-0 up. We were all very happy, and the performance about it was great. Ian Maatsen is another one, by the way. Ian Maatsen has definitely capitalized on his opportunity to the point where Maurizio Pochettino basically says he's in my plans. His versatility is so great, he's a good player, and you understand why. Comfortable in possession, ability to play multiple positions, ability to get around the pitch, ability to press. Why wouldn't you keep a talent of this magnitude? Well, they had the audacity at Nottingham Forest to put a £15 million bid in. Burnley put £20 million. He's not for sale. Under no circumstances, I don't see this player leaving, considering the public backing that he's been receiving from Maurizio Pochettino. Story number 3 is very easy. Reece James and Enzo Fernandez looked very competent in their return. Both players got some much needed fitness into their legs. And now, from going forward from this next game against Fulham, I think now we need to start focusing on the key performances. Fitness is coming back into these players' legs. We want to start seeing some patterns of play, and we want to start preparing for that first Liverpool game on the Sunday, which I will be obviously covering after the game. What was also a very nice sample point was the comfortableness of Bashir Humphreys in defence. I thought Bashir Humphreys was very good. I thought he dealt with the attack in a more composed manner than Trevor Chalobah. I thought he marshalled the defence. I thought he demanded the ball a lot. I think his distribution from the back could improve. I really do. But the problem is I compare him now to Mr. Levi Colwill, which is an issue. And Levi Colwill is one of the best players in the world at playing out the back, personally speaking. He's just phenomenal on the ball. But Bashir really done himself some justice. He needs another loan, but this time to either a Bundesliga or Premier League, somewhere where he's going to go and play and develop himself. I think he's very competent. What was also very good to see was Conor Gallagher, actually. Look, guys, a lot of you say to me, you're very hard on Conor Gallagher. Well, today I'm going to give Conor Gallagher some praise. I thought Conor was very good in the press. I thought Conor was applying himself to the game, but more importantly, within the application, he did everything with a purpose. He did everything by making his mind up quickly, and he just efficiently knew his limitations. And that was very nice to see for me. It was a well-rounded, mature performance. Somebody that's been there, has know-how, and knows how to manage game. Loved it. Then you start looking at the overall performance. I thought the overall performance was very composed. We sacrificed the ball a bit too much for my liking. I think Newcastle bopped it around, but they never posed a threat. Like, they literally had one pot shot from far, from when Isak did a madness to Reece James. They also had the goal that they scored where Cucurella just does a madness and just gives away the chance, and we were a little bit open. But other than that, I don't remember too many saves for Kepa to make. So for me, I genuinely believe that the performance was good. The result didn't like highlight the result, what we deserved and what we played for. The bad for me is Kepa's in a place now where every time there's a little bit of a opportunity to bash him and say he should have saved that, it's going to happen. And yesterday was another opportunity given to us. The mistake from Cucurella is criminal. I think it's absolutely criminal, and I'll get into Cucurella a bit later in this video, but Kepa's angles, you know Almiron's opening his body. He's going for the far post, he's choreographed. And the fact that it beat him with such ease is worrying for me. I think he needs to be a better goalkeeper than that. He is a better shot stopper than that. Anything that's with a curler, he almost struggles. And I'm really worried, guys. I really think we need a backup goalkeeper. I'm actually at the point where I think we should go get Muradashvili from Valencia. And hopefully he gives Kepa a little kick in the backside. And if Kepa can't keep up, put Muradashvili in goal. Good, competent goalkeeper. And then plan what to do next off. What was very also interesting to see was how quickly our fan base turn on individual players that are young and don't have a good game. Mikhailo Mudryk didn't have a good game. I think, yes, he had moments, but he was on the periphery. At one point, I forgot that he was even playing. His ability to disappear in games is second to none. He's literally, doesn't come to the ball. So he can just have 20-minute spells where he doesn't touch it. It was my biggest criticism with Christian Pulisic. But with him, I see it as well. But when he does get it, he's electrifying. And we've seen moments yesterday. So hopefully he improves. The one person that really struggled, and I think people really got at him, was Cesar, Casadilla. Casadei was a player that was giving balls away, left, right, and center. Didn't know what to do when he was picking up the ball. Everything was punchy and rushed. He needs to develop the skill set of calming down on the ball. He's very talented, and sometimes his youthful exuberance can carry him, but sometimes it's there for his detriment. And when the level bounced up a little bit, he struggled. So many people, he needs a loan, he needs to go, he's not good enough for this club. But in reality, a week ago against Wrexham, all of you were ranting and raving about how classy he is. He needs to stay. There's no way we should loan him. We don't need Romeo Lavia. That's what I kept on hearing. We don't need Romeo Lavia, Alex. We don't. Absolutely not. We don't need him. We've got Cesar. We've got Carney. We got Santos. We don't need him, Alex. Kept on hearing it. Reality is, don't be so topsy-turvy with these players. I think Cesar is a good player. I personally would loan him. And the reason I'd loan him is because I don't think he's going to get enough game time. So if he doesn't get enough game time, he needs to go and play somewhere. That's the harsh truth. But I don't think I'm loaning him purely based on yesterday's performance. No, he's young, and this is what we're going to expect. Expect Santos to have games like this. Expect Carney to have games like this, who I think both should be staying, by the way. That's just my personal opinion. The ugly. A lot of you are not going to like the ugly. Some of you are going to love the ugly. Raheem Sterling was shocking again yesterday. Raheem Sterling had 4 touches in 25 minutes of a cameo, I think, at one point when I checked. He looked absolutely disjointed. He looks lost. He looks like he doesn't know what he's about to do. And I'm worried. Like, I genuinely am starting to get worried. Because there was even a moment when there was a drinks break. Pochettino put his arm around him like, Raheem, everything's fine. Don't worry. He's trying to put the arm around him. Raheem is a good player, guys. Raheem is not a bad player. You don't turn rubbish overnight. But the way he's performing has been shocking. And Cucurella as well today. I don't know how to describe Cucurella's performance because I've really tried to give him the benefit of doubt. I really have. I've tried to say, you know what? Playing under Potter doesn't look good. Like, the system was just a little bit shaky. We're being a bit difficult with him. Under Frank, everyone looks bad. Come on. But yesterday again, he just looks like a player that doesn't belong at this level. He really doesn't. Like, maybe at Brighton he could get away with it because no one was watching and identifying every piece of his and like every bit of him. But now he's just always trying to jump in front of the ball, and the goal is the #1 culprit. The ball's coming. He's trying to nip in front. If you're doing that, you have to win it. He doesn't, and we get punished from it. Whenever he tackles, he's off his ground, off his feet, and if he misses it, it could be a red card or worse. Or worse, someone just nicks it past him and goes. And once he's on the floor like that, he's out the game. He can't impact it defensively. You need to have more emphasis in your defending, less laziness and more tracking. Kayak. Sometimes you just have to stay on your feet. But guys, it is a pre-season. I don't want to go over the top, but the one from Fulham onwards now, Fulham and Dortmund are big games. We need to win those games. We need to start getting some confidence back into this team, and we need to start believing that this team can actually compete for top 4. And our chief executives, our sportsmen like in the board, they need to start doing some jobs. Caicedo, go backup keeper, and Kudus. And I'll be very happy with this window with Nicholas Jackson being added, Malo Gusto, Divock Caldwell, Santu, and Carney Chukwuemeka, on top of the one and only Nkunku that everybody loves at this moment in time. And I'm going to hold my opinion back at this moment in time because I've not been too impressed. But if you want to know more about that in the comments, let me know. Hit the like button, share this video, please. It goes a mile and a half. Subscribe, we're super close to 29K. Kind of want to hit it today. Make sure you do that. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye.